Hey Metal Maniacs, this is Sean Hetherington Intense from the UK, and you're cranking up on Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
As blind as Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome back to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from the UK, founding member and frontman of legendary power metal band Intense. Joining us once again is my brother from another mother, Sean Hetherington, vocalist of Intense.
Hey Dave, how's it going?
It's going great. Welcome back to the Metal Meltdown, Sean. How you doing out there?
Doing really well, thanks. Thanks for having us on board. And yeah, it's been a long time, man. But no, everything's really good. Really excited, obviously, new album coming out, and yeah, very exciting. And things are picking up really quickly. So it's been a fairly busy week for us, which is cool. So
I'm sure it is, and I have to say it's an honor to get with you again. I was just browsing through Facebook, and I just had happened to notice your new album cover on the timeline. And he goes, "What?" I says, "Oh, right," because I had no idea. And then I said, let me get with you and do this interview. So yeah, it's great news that Intense has a new offering coming out. The band's fourth full release, not counting the Dark Season EP. It's called Songs of a Broken Future, and this is coming out on Pure Steel Records, which is a new record label for you, and it's due out March 27th. So
yeah,
congratulations on that.
no, thanks, man. Yeah, well, we're on Pure still for Shape of Rage, but it was Pure Legend. It's just a different arm of the labels. They put us back on Pure Steel, which I think I prefer Pure Steel anyway. I think just as a label for us to go out on, and that's what they're doing. So so yeah, they had an option on the album, and we weren't sure whether they were going to take us up on the option because 9 years is a long time for any business, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
they love the album, so we're blown away. And it was going to be a June release. I think they were looking at June, so we were all kind of just getting into planning, new merch, T-shirts, all that kind of stuff. And then last week, Michaela let me know that it's going to be a March release.
That's excellent because if it was in June, I probably wouldn't be here to do it. So
No,
I would be always running late with my livelihood, as you know, with Mr. Softee. The four
yeah.
months I get to do this on Metal Messiah Radio, in June I'm there doing the ice cream, and I would have to wait till November to get with you. So I'd rather get with you like a month ahead of time than 6 months later, or
Yeah,
so.
we brought it forward for you, Dave. We
Yeah.
knew that and we planned it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Very good. And I have to wish you a happy anniversary because I was also remembering our very first interview. This being our third now, our very first interview was actually about, it was 12 years ago, almost to the date. So 12
That's,
years. And that
that's it.
was to talk about as our army grows. And it's really been 9 years since our last interview. I can't believe it for the Shape of Rage. It's how time flies. It felt to me like it was only like 5 years, which is a long time, but 9 years. Wow.
I know as I say, it's just gone way too quick. And the Shape of Rage stuff, I can remember because don't think we did enough with Shape of Rage to be honest. But you're one of the guys that supported us with the interviews for that as well. But yeah, I just don't know what's happened. Time has just flown by, and they say it's a sign of getting older, Dave. I hope it's not the fact, but I just think it's flown by as well. 9 years is crazy, isn't it? So just
It is. And they also say time flies when you're having fun, so I would imagine you've been having fun. I was kind of worried that maybe the band split up because I haven't heard from you. I mean, I see you on Facebook, on this, news feed, whatever you're
yeah.
doing there. And I says, well, maybe he's just not doing the band anymore. I don't know. I don't know really, but it's great to know that you haven't split up and you're still out there. So I need to know, what have you been up to, and why would you think it's taken this long for new Intense music? Because yeah, I listened to the music, and I have to tell you, it's I remember our first interview. I said the comparison and how I felt like it sounded to me like Iron Maiden, right? But
Yeah.
now when I hear your music, it's intense music. It sounds like Intense. I mean, your music sounds like I remember it sounding. And I was listening to Second Sight. I think that's like been my favorite album of yours for forever. And I
Yeah.
was listening to that, playing the Winged on the air, and I'm like, I still hear it in my head. I felt I was sleeping with it, and it was still ringing in my head. I love that tune.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, so what have you been up to? I guess work keeps you very busy, family and all that, right?
Yeah, I mean, lots of things. I mean, for all of us, really. Family for me. Work is busy as well. I'm actually doing okay in work life. A number of us are as well. So unfortunately, I said earlier on, life gets in the way, doesn't it? Yeah, and there's been some bereavements, some of the guys as well. So obviously, people have had time to deal with bereavements, which I'm not going to go into the detail, but obviously, it's just happened. And Nick's become a new dad, I think 2 years ago now. So he remarried a few years ago, and so he's got a family and just everything that goes on in normal life. And it's just it's just went on and on. We've had Songs of a Broken Future in different formats for a little while. We record with might come up later, Dave. Sorry, but we record with Carl Groom for Threshold, and Dave done really well with the last album or last double album. So we had to sort of break up the recording as well. So it's just all these little, 6-month times and 3 months breaks just kept going, and I think that's what formed into the 9 years, and just lots of bad timing, I guess. But I think the time is right now, and we can all put our energy into what we're doing with the new album. So it kind of worked. It'll work out in the end. But obviously, a lot of people are. Well, I think a lot of the guys, especially in the UK, weren't believing we were going to do anything else. So it's nice to get something out for everyone that wants to hear some new Intents now. So.
Absolutely, and the other thing I find quite interesting as well, in my experience interviewing bands that maybe have had let's say a 6-year absence or even a 4-year absence, something happens within the band where they lose a couple of members or almost the entire lineup changes, but that hasn't happened in this case. You actually still have the same lineup since 2004.
Yeah. Steve joined us in 2004. We still call him the new guy, and we still say he's on probationary period, but he's doing okay. He's hanging in there, and we all get on really well. Obviously, Nick and I go back a long way. So does Dave and ourselves as well. Really, all of us go back a long way now, I guess. But the good thing is we know each other pretty well. We can argue without any kind of breakups and stuff like that. We're all too old in the tooth for that kind of thing. So it kind of works really well, Dave. We're all kind of a balanced bunch anyway. None of us are going too crazy, and we're kind of working together. And the good thing is, we get together, rehearse, and even if we haven't had a rehearsal for a few months, as soon as we sort of start playing, it all kind of clicks, and that's the beauty of what lineup we have now is everyone knows each other so well. It's kind of nice, to have the stability rather than have to worry about breaking in new band members and stuff. So we like it that way.
Oh yeah, and that keeps it where you can have the intense sound without having to deviate from it, because you got guys know each other, you're playing what you play, and you have that sound. And I noticed from hearing the new record, there is the new CD, the new offering, however you want to say, I noticed there's a touch of keyboard, so I'm curious who actually is playing the keyboards on the album.
On the album, we had, I think it's mainly Nick is playing, and also Carl Groom plays a bit of keyboards for us as well. So, that's how we've always done it, to be fair. It's usually Nick can play, he can dabble a little bit. We did, on Second Sight, we actually had a keyboard player record who came into the studio, who was a friend of one of the band at the time, I think. And he came in, and it really didn't work. He played everything. Better not say too much because he might be hearing, listening. But we kind of wiped it all and got Carl to re-record it. So we did have a bit of keys on the first album as well, Dave's Second Sight. But it's always been kind of in the background because we struggled. We wanted to have when we play live, if we can use keys, it's better. It adds a bit of atmosphere, so it works for what we do. But we won't ever have like a lead keyboard player or a lead keyboard break. It's not what we do. Right. So getting keyboard players that are happy just playing chords, there's not many of them out there because they all want to do their thing, So we've actually adapted to science now, and live we played a show towards the end of last year, and we actually have some keyboards on a computer, which is crazy, not very traditional. But we actually just have some sort of keyboards, just layering pads, because at least the computer doesn't argue. So that kind of worked for us.
That's all you really need, because it's not out in front. It's just a little bit in the background. Sometimes, not even all the time. So that's very understandable. So let's learn about this brand new release. What studio was this recorded in, and who mixed, mastered, and produced this?
It's the same man as always, the Carl Groom at Thin Ice. So he did Second Sight, the first album, with us, and he's done every one. I think we've had Rich West do a bit for As Our Army Grows. He's obviously in Threshold as well. But Carl again, Carl knows us so well. Again, we don't see Carl for ages. We do talk obviously now and again, but as soon as we get in the studio, it's like we've never left, and we're just really comfortable working with him. And he knows he's a really quiet guy. I don't know if you met Carl Groom, but he's a really quiet guy, and but he knows how to get the best out of you. So when we're performing, he just gives you a look and says, "I think maybe you can do a bit of a better take on that one, Sean. Let's try again." So again, it's nice when you can have people give a critique, and we don't get offended or upset by it. We take it because the guy wants us to do a good job. So yeah, that's Carl's always worked really well with us, and we don't envisage going anywhere else, to be honest. I think the next album will be there as well.
Yeah, it's working, and you're keeping true to your sound. And if it's not broken, why fix it, right?
Yeah, I mean, Carl knows the intense sound probably as well as we do now as well, and so he knows exactly what we want to sound like. He gets the ideas, he gets where we're coming from, he knows the style, and exactly right, and really nice guy to deal with. We go in there, it feels like our second home, and yeah, why would we change it? There's no reason to. So it's good. It's all good.
Excellent. And please share with us the details on your CD art for Songs of a Broken Future. It's a little bit darker, I would say, than your previous offerings as far as the look of the album. Who designed this?
So Matthias Noren, who did As Our Army Grows, it's the same guy. So, he did a great job on As Our Army Grows for me, which is based on the Prophecy films. And basically he went and actually, got the Prophecy DVD and watched it to get where my mind was back then, and I was really impressed with that because I thought that was really good. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him for Shape of Rage, so we approached him again just before this and just to see if he could work for us again. He did, and he did the booklet. So you probably wouldn't have seen much of the art apart from the cover, Dave. Is that right?
I have seen the cover, yeah.
Yeah. So, but in the booklet, he's done quite a lot more.
Oh, the
art.
booklet I haven't seen. No.
Yeah. So he's done an awesome job, and I'm just speaking to him about doing some merch and T-shirts for us as well, because really good guy. He's worked with Evergrey, Epica, lots of those kind of bands, and so really pleased to have him on board again. And I think you're right. The artwork is kind of dark, and it sort of kind of suits the subject matter for the songs, I think, really well.
That's great to hear. And leading into the merch, because you just touched about merch, I'd like to know what merch you have available for this offering and where would be the best place to get it. I'm going to give a couple of links. I've been to your official website, the intense/uk.com, and I think last time I went there, it was under construction. I think it still is, but it's about to be relaunched, I believe. So
yeah.
When is the time frame for that to be ready? And otherwise, I would say you could get it at anywhere, right? But I would say the shop link on your Facebook at facebook.com/intenseuk. You can get it at probably CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, and all that stuff, Spotify, everything like this. But where would you say would be the best place for a fan of Intense? Whether they've been a fan for as long as I have, whether they're hearing your music for the first time now and say, hey, I got to get some of this music, I'm loving it. Where would you tell them to get the music?
Yeah, so I think the Pure Steel website's the one to go to. And again, I need to check the link on that, Dave. I haven't got it ready. But they're going to do a pre-order from the 13th of March as well for the new album. With regard to merch, that'll be on our page. I think Nick looks after our web shop for us. And he's looking to have it ready by the time the album's launched, so by the 27th. And we're going to have T-shirts. I'm looking at doing hoodies again. So T-shirts, hoodies, all the normal stuff. There won't be a massive range, but at least there'll be some new stuff, because we really didn't do anything for Shape of Rage. There's no T-shirts for Shape of Rage or anything. So it'd be nice to get some new merch out there, because I think I'm still wearing my As Our Army Grows hoodie, and that needs renewing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get this CD also. I guess I'll get it through Pure Steel. And I actually shared your one video, I noticed, that's on the Pure Steel YouTube. I was actually looking on the Intense UK on YouTube, but I saw the video actually on the Pure Steel, the Head Above Water, and I shared the lyric video. I shared this on my timeline, and in lieu of this interview, let people know, hey, Intense is still around. They got a new video, and we have a new interview coming.
Yeah, that was again, Nick had a go at the lyric video, so that's his first time, I think. So really happy with what he did there, and it was almost like, what do you think about this? And we thought, I think we can use that. And he had some live footage as well from Germany, from Headbangers Open Air, and also from the Camden Underworld at the end. So we got to put some live footage in there as well, and it's worked really well for us. And I think the label are using it as well as promo. So in the next couple of weeks, I think that's going to be coming out, as well as a single track as well.
Very good. Could you tell us what we have to look forward to as far as the other videos that may be made for Songs of a Broken Future?
No, I can't, because I don't think we've got that far yet, Dave.
Oh, really? Oh, I was thinking you had this lined up already.
Yeah, no, we've got I Agonize is going to be the single that the label's going to use. So I think that's next week they're going to launch that and put that out. And then we're looking at, because some of the songs are quite long, so I reckon if we wanted to do a video for the songs we really like, there're probably about 7 or 8 videos on there, which isn't realistic. So we'll probably do another couple of lyric videos, but we want to do a decent, a proper performance video, or one with actors or actresses or whatever. We'd do that. I mean, Fear Is Not Enough is doing really well on YouTube. I think it's 60,000 views or whatever now. Obviously, it's been out for 13 years, something like that. And I said to the guys, we don't want to be just known for that. We did Save Me From Myself. That did okay. That was on a bit more of a budget, but we want to choose one of the songs, and we're really not sure. It's kind of up in the air what we're going to choose at the moment. So we'll surprise everyone when we launch that. So.
Well, keep in touch with me, and when I see it, I'll share it.
Of course, yeah. I think from the way you stumbled across all the announcements shows that I'm pretty rubbish at announcing and keeping guys in the loop. So I'm going to do a better job of that, Dave.
But you did a good enough job that I noticed it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I think you did fine. I really appreciate that. I actually noticed it, because otherwise I would have felt really bad if I missed this opportunity.
That's cool. Well done for noticing, man. That's really cool.
So. Yeah, and let's hear about some shows or touring that you may have. Do you actually have a planned CD release party?
We don't, because again, we were looking at sort of June time for the release till last week. So we're not going to do a release party, which is a shame. But I think the timing is just way ahead of what we were looking at doing, and even booking shows, Dave. So we're looking at doing a few shows in the UK. Probably looking sort of May, June time. And then we're going to get some shows in Europe. We haven't been over to Europe for too long. So Germany, Holland, Belgium, probably be the key ones. And the other ones that come up. But obviously, as in the real world, it depends what kind of interest we get. But that's where we're playing at the moment. If we get to go anywhere else or get opportunities to go anywhere else, we'll definitely take them, because as I said, we played in London last year. And that was our first show for a long time, but what it showed us was how much we miss it. So we want to get out and start playing again. And I don't think, I was saying to you earlier on, I don't think we toured Shape or Rage enough. We did enough shows for that. So we're not going to make the same mistake with this album. So we're all kind of geared up and G'd up to really go and support the album with a decent tour.
Well, that's good news, because I'm sure your intense fans really do miss you. And the time frame, the 9 years, you're going to have a lot of new intense fans. I do believe people that may have never heard you before. I really think that. But the long time intense fans, they're going to be so stoked that you're going to be out there again, having this new music, doing shows, having new merch, and having the videos. It's really good to have all this available for the intense fans. So thank you for getting this music out there.
No, thanks, man. No, yeah, you're right. It's really, really good to have some new offerings for the guys, and a lot of people have stayed true to the band, and anyone could be excused for forgetting about us, not really caring about the band anymore. But there's so many people stoked about us putting out a new album. I think at the show in London last year, we had guys in Second Sight T-shirts turn up. We had a guy, Dirk, who's a really good friend of the band. He drove from Germany. And didn't tell us till last minute when we got an email saying, what time are you guys on? And he turned up just before we went on stage, and he drove from Germany for the show, which is just crazy. So we want to get out and see as many of our friends and fans as we can, because we know we've kept them waiting too long. So it'll be good.
Yeah, needless to say, you have great fans out there that would do that for you. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. Yeah, and we need to reward these guys, because I say it'd be easy for a lot of people to go and turn their backs and do other things, but a lot, intense fans stay really true to what we're doing. So really, really pleased and proud to have those guys on our side.
So, Sean, would you please remind us what you do for your day job? Because you take your job very seriously, from what I take from talking to you, and but I forgot what you do.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm a manager for a wholesaler, so I'm trying to think of what would be the equivalent in the States, but probably Costco is one of my competitors, so we look after trade, so pubs, restaurants, all those kind of guys, independent shops, they come and shop where I work, and they have to have a card, and it's for trade only. So I do that. It's not very glamorous, but I run a decent team of about 50 people, and I've done pretty well, running a decent store, drive a nice car, and I've just moved home recently, and the day job lets me do that. Unfortunately, music doesn't, because I'd rather it was that the music that actually made me able to do that, but got to earn a living and put a roof over the head, So that's what I do. I kind of enjoy it. Drives me crazy sometimes if you see all the motivational stuff I put on Facebook, and you can tell what kind of weeks or days I'm having, I'm guessing. So metal keeps me sane.
Yeah, I think it keeps us all sane, believe me. In my Softee truck, that's all I listen to, metal all the time, 24 hours a day. It couldn't work without it, seriously. And
No, I mean that's the thing. It's I think I've started training quite a lot recently as well. So I go to the gym and stuff, and so lifting metal and listening to metal keeps me absolutely sane. It's definitely therapy, Dave. Yeah.
My next question is a little bit more personal. Has nothing to do with the album or the band. It's about you and your family. How old are your kids now?
16 and 13. So 2 boys.
Wow. So we're just little kids when we had our first interviews. Wow.
Yeah, crazy. And they're both, typical teenagers and that kind of stuff. And my oldest son's just about to go to college this year. And so a lot's changed for them as well. So, and I think when I probably spoke to you last time, they were quite pleased that Dad was in a heavy metal band. Now they're just a bit embarrassed by it. But hey, as kids, isn't it?
Embarrassed by it? Wow. What do they think of the intense music though? They must love it.
Yeah, they do like Intense. They listen to it. They've never seen us play live though yet. So I don't want to drag them to clubs when they were younger, obviously. But no. They might see us on this tour with ear defenders, I guess, just to be safe. But it'd be nice to get them to come down and see what I do. And I could do some extra roadies as well, so that'd be quite handy.
That'd be a good learning experience for them too. Maybe they'll get involved in the business as well.
Absolutely, yeah, that'd be good.
Brother Sean, is there anything that you'd like to say to your fans that are tuning in at this time? I'm talking about the longtime fans that have been following you from the beginning, and even the new fans that may be hearing your music for the first time, like I said. Anything you'd like to say to them as well?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah. All the guys that have known about Intense for quite a while, just want to say thanks for your support. And we don't say it lightly; we mean it. And I do a few videos on the Intense Facebook page, so check those out. And just really, really privileged that a lot of people are sort of hanging on out there, waiting for the next Intense album, which is coming. Any new guys, check us out, see what you think. I think if you like metal and decent metal, I don't think it's dated at all. I think we'll be new to a lot of people, like you said, Dave, but hopefully they'll get it and they'll understand what we're doing. And we're a consistent metal band, aren't we? We do what we do, and we've got our own sound. And the good thing is we think a lot about the lyrics. We try and paint different pictures for people to interpret the lyrics the way they want to interpret them. And not everyone does that these good days. So I think we've still got something different to offer. So please check out the new album, enjoy it, and give us some feedback on the Facebook page. It'd be great.
Absolutely. And Brother Sean, it was really truly an honor to have you back on Metal Meltdown to talk about the latest from Intense. I think we caught all the fans up to speed, but I want to make sure that we got everything covered. I don't want to leave anything left unturned if we have not brought up everything. So before we go crank up more tunes off of Songs of a Broken Future, I want to make sure if there's anything else that we could bring out there to the listeners that you'd like to mention that we have yet to do.
Dave, I appreciate having me on. I think we've covered it all, man. I really do. I think we've got all the main points out there, and as I say, there'll be future chats. Maybe we'll have a chat later in the year when you're back on the airwaves and see how things are going. Huh?
Sure. I mean, we could even do a follow-up interview if you have tours. Come on the show, even if it's not a full interview, a catch-up interview. Just keep everybody posted on what's going on with Intense. I would definitely love to do that I would love to do that with you.
That'd be great, man. Yeah, I'm definitely up for that whenever you want, man.
Yeah, you've always kept in touch with me, so I know I really thought the band may be, adios, because I haven't heard about the band from you, but just knowing that there's a news feed and I saw the album, I says, oh, great, because that's all it really takes. As long as you spread the word, we're going to see it. But you could always hit me up on the Messenger on Facebook if you have some news that you want to spread, like I said. And of course, I'll be happy to share it on all the pages I'm associated with. And I want to thank you for another fine interview. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Sean. And I wish you and all in Intense a great and successful 2020. And hopefully the tours you have lining up, even though they're not set in stone yet, I hope that you have an outstanding performances and that you get a lot of support for that. And I'm looking forward to our next opportunity, a follow-up interview. And I hope it doesn't take you another 9 years for more music.
Dave, thanks for having us on. It won't take us 9 years, guaranteed. And no, I really appreciate your support, man. And you've hung in there and be really true to us. You're a true brother. So thanks very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your kind words. And you'll always have my support, like I told you, from the very beginning when we had our very first interview. And you see it, this is only our third. But, if you had more releases, we'd have more. So, more
Yeah.
is to come. So, cheers to you, Sean. How about we go crank up some more intense now? And let's crank it up loud.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Let's do it.